This is Lawrence Watford, Law, one of Essence.com's 7 Black filmmakers to watch. I'm here at the Cannes Film Festival with Miss Yolonda Brinkley, founder and creator of Diversity in Cannes. What exactly is Diversity in Cannes?
Diversity in Cannes is an independent film movement promoting inclusion at the Cannes Film Festival. I took my first trip to the festival in 2009, and it was completely devoid of diversity. And from there, the idea of Diversity in Cannes was impregnated in me, and it was birthed in 2010.
You gotta get it right. It's the can. You gotta leave off the S, because I'm horrible at that. Why was it so important and compelling for you to come here and to create this program?
During my undergraduate years at Clark Atlanta University, I studied in Cannes, which is when I learned about the festival for the first time. But when I came, I didn't intend to start anything. I just came to come because I had the time and I had the money. And when I got here, I felt completely like an outsider. And again, because of my PR background, I know how to move and shake. I know how to get things done, but I couldn't figure it out. And then I had a video camera, and I walked up on all the people who looked like me, to all the Black people from everywhere, and none of us knew a damn thing. How do you get tickets for the red carpet? How do you get tickets to the parties? Well, no one knew anything. And so then I was like, oh, challenge on. Now I do an information session every year at the WGA in Los Angeles, advising filmmakers of all the programs that they have here and just how the process works. How do you get tickets? How do you get to the screenings? What's the best way to get here? How to prevent fraud and getting scammed by housing. So it's just become a whole thing for me. I feel like I'm the Cannes subject matter expert.
So when we say diversity, what are we talking about?
Well, to be clear, Diversity in Cannes is all-inclusive diversity. It's race, religion, sexual orientation, physical ability, gender, class, sex. We try to showcase the work of all underrepresented filmmakers telling stories about marginalized populations. But as a Black woman here on the ground in Cannes, I make it my business to ensure that our stories are told and that we are telling them authentically and that they are the best representation of us here on the ground, because this could be the only film that some of the audience has ever seen specific to Black people. So that is my moral responsibility to ensure that our stories, the stories that I select for Diversity in Cannes, for the short film showcase, that they are representative of our culture and the positive aspects of our culture. I know everything's not positive, but I'm not going to come to Cannes and show us killing each other and degrading women and anything that's similar or vaguely similar to that. I'm going to ensure that our stories are being told and they are so we can change the global narrative of Black lives. The establishment, however, is not a priority. Let's say that. It's not a priority. But at the same time, you can't expect the oppressor to provide you with the tools that you need to promote yourself in an environment that's not particularly targeted for you.
Can you talk about Spike Lee being the first Black Cannes Film Festival jury president in that contest?
That's a twofold question, because we're going to talk about Spike and how Spike deserves to be here, because Spike is a phenomenal filmmaker. He tells authentic stories and he's put his time in. But we're also going to talk about the fact that Cannes recycles its diversity. Cannes recycles its filmmakers. I mean, they do it in America as well. Once they find one person, they constantly utilize that same person, right? So I won't call any names out, but it's like X is the only person, the only Black woman that's a filmmaker. And so I feel like there's a need to introduce new talent.